Hi, all of you. Is my sound is audible?
Yes.
Okay. So, in the last class, we discussed about the Elastic IP and the launching of the Windows was seen. So, anybody have any question in that?
No, no questions.
So, today we are going to start with the storage service. Okay. And the first storage service we are going to learn is the S3. Okay. And S3, I said you that it is similar to your Google Drive, right? So, whatever the things usually we do in the Google Drive, exactly same type of the things we do in the S3. And S3 is known as the object storage. Why it is known as object storage? Because whatever the files, whatever the folders you are going to upload it here, they will be known as object here. Okay, that's why we say it as a object based storage. Okay, so in the object based storage, you cannot do the installation, you cannot do any run of application, you cannot run the Windows operating system, something like things. These all things you cannot do on the object based storage. Okay, object based storage are just meant for storing the files, folders, everything. That's all. You cannot run anything there. So simply you have to search for S3, click on S3, okay, and you are going to see this page. And in this page, in your case, the bucket will be not created. So let me just delete this. Okay, bucket is not empty. So first let me do one thing. I'm deleting. These all things you don't have to do it. Okay, so when you'll search the S3, this type of the page is going to come. Okay, so here you have to simply click on create bucket to create a bucket. Okay. So bucket is just like a bigger folder. Okay, so in a single AWS account, you can create multiple bucket. There is no any limitation in that. Okay, but make sure all the storage, whatever the files you are storing inside the bucket, everything should be less than 5 GB combined. Okay, then only they will be not asking you for any charges. If your storage is more than 5 GB, then they will charge you. Okay, whatever the charges they have per GB, okay, that they will charge you. Now bucket name they are clearly saying is bucket name must be unique. Okay, unique means in the globally whatever the bucket name you are writing it here. Okay, no person in the world should use the exactly same bucket name. Bucket name should be unique. Okay, like when we choose Instagram username, Twitter username, we use that type of the method only, right? So here I'm just creating a bucket with some unique name. Okay, this will be a unique name. Okay, so this name should be unique. Nobody should be using this exactly same name in the entire world. Something like this. Okay. Now, in which region you are going to create this bucket? I am creating in Mumbai region only. So let it be AP South 1. Come down. We don't have to do any changes here. I want that this bucket people will be able to connect from the outer world. That's why I'm removing this block all public access part. I'm taking this box. Click on I acknowledge. Okay. And come down. Click on create bucket. So basically, we created a bucket with the name called Kiroi DevOps Bucket 1, okay, in the Mumbai region. And in this, it is saying that object can be public because I removed the block all public access part. Okay, so now whatever the object is basically the files, okay, whatever the files folder you are going to keep inside this, it can be public. That means it is not public, but you can make it public. Like in the Google Drive also, whatever the file I am uploading, by default, you will be not able to see. Once I will give you the permission, right, then only you will be able to see. Okay, like this. So similarly, that also you can do it here. So now this bucket is created. Okay, now the usual scenario will be exactly same what you do in the Google Drive also. Like I'm going inside this bucket. Now currently there is no object. That means there is no files, there is no folder. Okay, so if I'm going to click on create folder here, so they are asking what is the folder name you want to create. I will create a folder with the name called image. Okay, so if I'll click on create folder, so you'll see that a folder with the name called image got created. Similarly, if somebody want to create a folder with the name called PDF, right? So here a folder with the name called PDF will be created, right? How easy it is to create multiple folders. Okay. Similarly, in the image folder, if somebody want to upload files, right? So what you have to do, click on this image folder. Click on this upload symbol. Okay. I want to add a file here, and which file you want to upload it? Just paste that here. I'm uploading a image here. Come down, click on upload. Currently, I am not giving any permission or something. Okay, this permission part we'll see later. Okay, they are saying that you have to do some bucket policy change, everything. Okay, but let's all these things we'll see later. Click on upload simply. Okay, so basically till now what we done. Okay, if we'll try to understand what are the things we done here till now. So basically, first we created a bucket with this name. Inside this bucket, we created two directory. Okay, image and PDF. Inside the image directory, I created uploaded a file here. Okay. Now once this file is uploaded now if you want to give this file access to anybody in the world, right? So what we have to do is we have to copy this URL. After selecting this, I will copy this URL. I'll paste it in the browser. Okay, and I'll press enter. So see, you don't have the permission currently to see the file. Okay. Similarly, if I'll give this in the chat also, I'm giving you this link. Just try to open this link, everybody. Are you able to see the exactly same thing? Access denied. All of you are able to see the access denied?
Yes.
Okay. Now, see how this URL got generated is, so see, they are writing the bucket name. They are writing that you are using the S3. You created in the Mumbai region. Amazon AWS.com. Then you created a folder with the name called image. Okay. Then whatever the file name. So now you got the reason, right? Why they said you to create a bucket name with unique. Because in the world, if some other person also created a bucket with the exactly same name, right? Then it will be create a problem because the URL will be the same for everybody, right? Because take an example, another person like you also created a bucket with the same name. Inside that you created a directory called image. Okay, and you also uploaded a file with something like this name, right? Then for you also URL will be generated this, for me also URL will be generated this, then it will be a huge problem. Okay, that's why they say that if somebody created this bucket, now nobody in the world will be able to create this bucket with this name. Okay, so that's the thing. So once we got the URL is generated, now the question is access denied. So in the Google Drive also it happens, right? Like when somebody don't have the access, it will give you the access denied. Okay, that means you don't have the access to see this part. Okay, so how to give the access everything, right? So if you'll see here action here, come down, there is an option called make public. Make public means you can make this image public so anybody can see it. But currently this option is disabled. You cannot click on this. Okay. So to enable this option of making it public, okay, you can come to the bucket section, go inside the bucket, go in the permission, okay, of the bucket permission, come down. There is an option called object ownership. Okay, click on this part, edit. Here there is an option called ACL disabled. Simply enable this. Click on I acknowledge, save changes. If you enable this ACL, right? If you enable this, where is that one? Object ownership. If ACL is enabled, then only you can control who can have the access. Okay, who can be the owner. Okay, if you want to give access to only some particular AWS account, everything you can just control it from here by clicking on this edit button. Okay, that which person want to give, like for everybody in the world, I just want to give him the list and read access, like that way we can give it whatever the permission we want to give it. You can do the changes as per the bucket level. Okay, but again we are not going to do this. We just enable the ACL. That means now we can control this permission. That's why we just enabled the ACL by going in the object ownership, and here we done the ACL. Okay, once we're done this, then again you can come to the bucket section, go to that particular images. If you select this, go to the action. Previously, make public using ACL was not enabled. Now it is saying that they will automatically do some changes. Okay, you don't have to worry about manually doing it. If I'll click on make public using ACL as soon as this, okay, automatically they are going to provide the read access. Okay, they will provide the read access for anyone in the world. Okay, click on make public. And since they provided the read access for anybody, so now if you are going to refresh this page, you are able to see this image. Try to refresh this, all of you. I'll be able to see this image. So that means I can upload any files in my S3 bucket, okay, and I can make it public. Anybody in the world, by just clicking on this URL, they will be able to see that or download it. Make sense?
Yes.
Similarly, take an example. I am going inside the PDF file. Here also I am uploading a file with the. Here I am uploading a PDF file. Take an example. Click on upload. So again, this PDF file is uploaded. But again, you don't have the permission currently. Okay, if you are going to copy this URL, you'll see that it will be access denied, something like this. Okay, so let me try to open it from some different browser. This one. So see, here also it will be showing as access denied like this. Okay, but as soon as you are going here, clicking on action, clicking on make public using ACL, this email PDF file I'm giving the read access. Now, if somebody will refresh this page, actually they are directly downloading it. Okay, they directly downloaded this PDF file. Okay, I can open it. Or if you'll open this particular URL in the Google Chrome, okay, if you'll open this particular URL in the Google Chrome have a benefit that they can display the content directly on the browser also. Okay, and see, they opened actually the PDF file. So it depends on browser to browser. Some browser directly download the PDF file, somebody directly open it like this format also, and see everything got opened. Okay, so easy it is, right? That everybody can just click on this particular link, right? Like tomorrow, if somebody is asking me that can you share the DevOps syllabus PDF, right? So I have to just share it this URL. That's it to all of you, and you'll be able to access it from any part of the world. Make sense?
Yes.
So this is about the S3 bucket. Okay. Similarly, we can use the storage service of S3. S3 is cheaper. Okay. The charges less amount of money for per GB. Okay. That's a company uses to S3 bucket to dump their data, all the company logs, all the company's related data, they store it here. Okay. And anybody who is having the AWS account access, they can come here and they can see it. They don't make it public for outer world or people because they want that this data should be used internally. So the person who is having the access of the AWS account, they will be able to come here, they will be able to read the data, everything, all these things. Okay. So this is about the S3 bucket. So I hope this is clear to you. Now, second part we are going to see is the EBS volume. Okay, we are going to see the EBS volume. So to understand the EBS volume, I said you that EBS volume is just like a hard disk or pen drive, right? So whatever the limitation you have, right, or whatever the things you can do with the pen drive, exactly same thing we can do with the EBS volume. Okay. So can we buy a pen drive in one country and we'll be using that pen drive in some laptop that is present in some different country without physically giving that pen drive? Right, that cannot be possible. Pen drive should be physically present to the location where your computer is there, then only it can be connected. Okay, so similarly EBS volume. Okay, and before that, how you can read the data of pen drive? Anybody, can you read the data of the pen drive without having the laptop with you?
No.
No, right? That means we'll require some machine. Similarly, for read the data of the EBS volume, you are going to require the EC2 instance. Make sense? Just like pen drive, laptop, EBS volume, EC2 instance. Okay. Now, second thing, both should be present in the same location. That means same country, same place, right? So that means if EBS volume is created, okay, if this EBS volume is just like a pen drive, if this is created in EP-south-1A availability zone, okay, then in which EC2 instance it can be attached? It can attach to the EC2 instance which will be running in the EP south-1A on. Making sense? Okay. that wherever your location of EBS volume will be there, it can connect to the EC2 instance running in that particular availability zone only. Okay. Third thing, EBS volume can attach to only one machine at a time, right? Can attach to only one EC2 instance, because pen drive also can attach to only one laptop at a time, right?
Yeah.
So these three things basically we have to understand. If these three things is clear, then you are good with to go with the EBS volume. Okay, so let me come to the volume section. I think I have so many different volume, so some of the things I don't require. So let me do one thing. I'm deleting the Windows machine. I don't require now. Come to the volume section. I don't require this 3 GB pen drive, 4 GB pen drive. This two I don't require. Action. I cannot delete this. Some programs here. But let me just delete this one by one. I deleted the 3 GB pen drive. I deleted the 4 GB pen drive. I don't require this. Okay, actually it is attached. To which machine it is attached? It is attached to 1B. Okay. 4 GB. Detach it. It is just like in the normal world also, you detach, you attach, right? Exactly same thing we are doing. Let it first detach, then I will show you all this thing. So don't worry. Detach. Yes, now we can delete this volume. Fine. Okay. Now simply you have to come to the volume section, EBS volume in the EC2 only. Why? They kept this EBS volume in the EC2 only. Why they don't create a new resource, something like this, like S3 was there? No, they did not create that, right? Because they know that EBS volume, if somebody want to use it, they have to do it using the EC2 instance only. If you are not having the EC2 instance, you cannot access the data of the EBS volume. Okay. Now I'm going to create a volume. Take an example. I'm creating a pen drive of size 4 GB. Make sense? Okay. So I'm just writing here size 4 GB. Come down. Now they are asking in which availability zone I want to create. So you have to decide it which availability zone I'm going to create. Okay. So let me just duplicate this and let me check in which region I have most of the instances. So I can show the practical. Okay. So currently I have three EC2 instances with me and all the three are present in 1B. Make sense? That means if I want to show you this practical, okay, to attaching the ABS volume to any of this EC2 instance, right? So I have to create it in 1B. Okay. So that's why I'm creating this in 1B. Okay. You can create in 1A, then you have to launch the EC2 instance in 1A. Okay. That is the only limitation. Come down, click on create volume. So now I created a new volume of size 4 GB. Okay. Let me give some name here. Pen drive 4 GB, something like this. Okay. Now see, we created this and currently this is in the creating state. That means we are buying the pen drive from the market. Okay. Now see, it is available. Now, to use any pen drive, what are the things you have to do? The first thing, you have to buy the pen drive. Make sense? Okay. You have to buy the pen drive. After buying the pen drive, what you have to do? You have to attach this pen drive. Okay. Now after attaching this pen drive, the third thing what you have to do is, okay, you have to create a partition. Actually in the real world scenario, whatever the pen drive you are buying it from the market, they always comes with a single partition in the pen drive. Okay, that means if you are buying a pen drive of 32 GB, you will be seeing a single partition of size 32 GB only. Okay. But when we buy the laptop or something, right, then we see the multiple partition in the hard disk like C drive, D drive, E drive. So these all things you can do in the pen drive also. In the pen drive also you can create multiple partition. Okay. Anybody know that you can create that multiple partition in the pen drive?
No.
Okay. So see, in part without creating the partition, without formatting the pen drive, you cannot use the pen drive. But in the real world scenarios, whatever the pen drive you are buying from the market, They already come with the partition. They already format it. Why? Because the people who are buying the pen drive, it is not like all the person are the technical person. They know how to do the partition, how to do the format. That's why they sell in the market by doing all these things. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to create a partition first. Okay. Then after creating the partition, the next step what we have to do is we have to format the partition. Okay. Again, we cannot format the pen drive. We can format the partition only. Okay. Uh, for understanding this logic, let me just press Windows plus X. Then I will go to the disk management. Okay. So have you heard the term called I am formatting the hard disk by anybody? Like they are saying that currently I am trying to format my hard disk. Have you heard this type of the term anytime?
No.
No?
No.
Nobody done here formatting of pen drive, partition, hard drive anytime?
No.
Okay, that's why again. If you did not saw that, have you know the word format, or that also is confusing?
No. We know the word actually. I know the word format. And I know that all the USB drivers comes with pre-formatted, and we use that. Without the format, actually, we cannot use that one, right? So it won't work, right? So yeah, I know that.
So see, actually the thing is now people say in the real world scenario that okay, I have some virus in pen drive, let me format the pen drive, okay? Or my pen drive is got filled, like let's format the pen drive, or let's my mobile phone storage is filled, let's format the mobile phone, right? This type of the term we say. So basically format is basically removing all the data. Okay. But now the question is, can we remove the data, everything from the hard disk? Again, answer is no. You cannot delete the data from the hard disk. Okay. Now again, there will be a thinking will be coming in the mind that, okay, I am saying to you that you cannot delete the data from your hard disk. Okay. Then how after doing the formatting previously we are saying only 5 GB is free, now 100 GB is free, that means data is got deleted, right? So how you are saying that it is not deleted? So basically data is still present there. You are saying that your partition is got deleted because basically when you format, partition table get deleted, partition table will be deleted, then you think that everything is blank, but actually the data is present. Okay. And that's why you'll see in many Hollywood movies like that, if you try to watch, they will say that okay, he tried to format the hard disk, but now let's the some particular agency, okay, a hacking agency or police agency, they are trying to recover the data from the pen drive or the laptop. They say usually, right, that we are trying to recover the data from the pen drive or hard disk. What is the meaning of this? If the data is already deleted, how they can recover it? So basically, whoever created the hard disk, whoever created the pen drive, right? They are following a logic here. The logic is the first time when you are writing the data, okay, in the pen drive or the hard disk, right, it is getting stored there, okay. You cannot delete the data from there, okay. What you can do is you can rewrite the data, okay. You can rewrite the data. Take an example, there was a 100 GB pen drive was there, okay, or let's take an example, 16 GB pen drive, okay. In the 16 GB pen drive, entire data was filled. Now I formatted this. Now entire pen drive become empty. Okay. Now in this pen drive, if I did not, after formatting, I did not given a single file inside this pen drive. Okay. I did not saved a single file. Okay. That means I can recover the 100% of my pen drive data, whatever previously it was present, by using different software available in the market. Okay. Now take an example, in the 16 GB pen drive, I formatted it and then again I added 4 GB file. Now 12 GB is free storage, right? So if you want to recover, you can recover the data of the remaining 12 GB. You cannot recover the data of that part entire 16 GB. Why? Because the 4 GB storage you again added it, so it got rewrited. Okay, rewrited means previous data got rewrited with the new data. Okay, so that data is lost. That data cannot be recovered. But whatever the empty space is there, that 12 GB, that 12 GB data can be recovered still by using some software. Okay. That's why when you will go to some company and you will ask like, what is the probability that I will able to recover my data, right? So they will give you the probability number will be 0 to 100%. That means if you did not added any file after formatting, that means you are able to recover the 100% data. If you added some file like 10% storage, you again used it, 20% storage again you used it, then you'll be able to restore only 80% of remaining data. Is this entire concept is clear? Is it fine?
Yeah, it's a bit confusing.
Confusing?
Yeah.
I explained, right? See, just try to think now. Like, see, there is a
Sir,
pen
actually,
drive.
here I have one question. First, that you mentioned about the region, right? AP dash South dash 1A. How do we know that actually?
We are seeing it here, na? This is the availability zone.
So if we are creating a new pen drive, it won't be there, right? So we can select any area, right? Or based on the
No,
requirement,
no,
we'll
see,
select that.
pen drive, we are not talking about pen drive. We are talking about EVS volume here first. Okay. When we
Yeah.
given this, we retain the EVS volume. Okay. Pen drive is this concept. Okay. So pen drive basically you have to keep it in the same city where your laptop is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means EBS volume also you have to keep it the same location where your EC2 instance is there, right? If
Yeah.
your EBS volume is present in 1B, then you have to create the EC2 instance in 1B. Okay, but I done the reverse way because I don't want to create multiple EC2 instance in my account. So I had already some EC2 instance running here, right? All are running in
Okay.
1B. That's why for showing this practical, I created the volume in 1B on. Okay, if the volume I created in 1A, then if I want to read the data from here, then I have to launch a new EC2 instance from 1A only. Okay, and now the question is how we are going to launch the instance in 1A only. Then when you are launching the instance now in the type of the network setting, okay, in the network
Mm-hmm.
setting itself, here you can click on it. By default, you did not have any preference that whether you want to select 1A, 1B, 1C. There is no preference. Okay, but if you select here 1A, then they are going to launch it in 1A only. Making sense?
Yes. Okay.
So
Gotcha.
this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to create the partition, we have to format the partition. Then the last step is we have to mount the volume. Mount the volume. If you'll do these five things, then you'll be able to use any pen drive in the world. Similarly, you have to do the exactly five things in the pen drive volume also, EBS volume, and you'll be able to do this. Okay. Again, all these steps I written much more details inside a file called EBS volume. Let me find a file called EBS volume. Okay, so this is the file. This is having the proper information. I already written this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is 5 cloud. Okay, actually I have in the cloud 26 this file. I already uploaded for them. Okay, not here. I think in the lab section I uploaded. Okay, this file. So this file I'm just going to make a copy. Okay, and this file will be copied here. I'm just going to move this file to the cloud 27 people. Cloud 27 labs. I am pasting that file here. So now you'll see in your location in the cloud 27, I given that lab file in which ebs volume.txt file you are going to see all the content. Okay. What are the things we have to do? We have to buy the pen drive, attach the pen drive, create the partition, format the partition, mount the ball. These 5 things we are going to do. How to do? These all steps are written here. Okay. These all are the basically the commands we are going to run it. Okay. So let's come here. So currently we have the pen drive available in the market, right? Which step I done? I buy the pen drive. Okay. So buying the pen drive is done. Now what is the next thing we have to do? We have to attach this pen drive, right? You will be attaching this pen drive to your laptop. So what we have to do is we have to select this EBS volume, click on action, click on attach. Now you are going to attach to which instance? You can attach it to instance with the name called running in 1B only. So I'm just attaching to one of the instance called EC2 1B Cloud 25 like this, and I'm clicking on attach volume. Now what happened is this particular size pen drive of 4 GB got attached to a EC2 instance EC2 1B. Okay. If you'll go in the storage section of this particular instance, you'll see two storages there. One is the 8 GB and one is the 4 GB. 4 GB I just attached it now, 22/9/2023. Okay. Now once this 4 GB pen drive is attached to this particular machine, now I want to access this pen drive, right? So first I have to start this instance, then I have to connect to this particular instance, then we can proceed with other practical. Now instance is running. Now you can connect to this instance like this. So after attaching, the next thing what we have to do, we have to create a partition. Okay. Now to create a partition, what I said that you have to run some command, right? These all commands is helping you to do the create a partition. Similarly, to format the partition, you have to run this command, right? So basically I retain everything, so you don't have to worry about. Okay. So first thing what you have to do is you have to become the root user, but before that they are asking us to update some software. So let me just do it. Okay. Now let's become the root user. Okay. After becoming the root user, uh, the next thing what we have to do is we have to create a partition, right? So to create a partition, the first command which can help you is the fdisk command, fdisk-f. Okay. What this command is going to say you is this command will show you how many hard disk is currently connected to your laptop, okay, or how many pen drive is connected to your laptop. So are you saying these two things? They are saying that one hard disk of 8 GB size and one hard disk of 4 GB size is connected, right? They're clearly saying there is two disks, right? One disk name is this one of size 4 GB, one disk of this name of size called 8 GB. Okay. But in the 8 GB, you are seeing that they have something called partition table here, like this partition table entries. Okay. XVDA1, XVDA128, like this way they created some partition here. But this is missing in 4 GB. That means in 4 GB, you don't have any partition. Okay. Now, what you can do is you can create a single partition of entire 4 GB. Okay, that is the thing you can do, or you can create multiple partition also out of this 4 GB. So what do you want? Do you want to create multiple partition or you want to create a single partition of 4 GB? Anybody?
Multiple.
Multiple. So how much size you want me to break it in this? Maximum we can break it into 4 parts. Okay, that
Yeah,
is the
one,
limitation.
2
Okay,
GB.
let's go with 1 plus 3 GB partition. Okay, one I will create of 1 GB, another I will create of size 3 GB like that. Okay.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is, for doing this, you have to write the command called fdisk, okay, and then you have to give the partition hard disk name. Okay, what is the hard disk name? /dev/xvdf. This name can be different. Okay, it can be different name. So whatever the name is coming in your case of that size 4 GB, just paste it here and press enter. Now they are saying that we are going to create something. Do you know how to create the partition, everything? So if you don't know, press button M for help. If I'll press M, so they are guiding us here that if you want to create a new partition, you have to press N. N is a button you have to press for add a new partition. If you want to save the partition, you have to press the right table and exit W. Okay. So we know that N we have to press and W we have to press, something like this, right? If I press N, that I want to add a new partition. So they are asking which type of the partition you want to create, primary or extended. By default, I will take the primary only, and maximum you can create 4. So I'm saying that you can create primary only by default. Okay, so I will just press enter here. I will not do any changes. Now they are saying this will be the partition number 1. Are you sure about this, or you want to give some different partition number? I know that default value will be 1 only because this is my first partition. So let it be same. Press enter. Now first sector that you are going to start this storage from the sector called 2048. That means the first sector byte. Internally they uses this type of the mathematics, okay, in the pen drive or storage. So I will just keep it same. Now I don't want to use the last sector. If I use up to the last sector called 8388607, that is the default value, then what is going to happen? A single partition will be created of size 4 GB. Is this making sense? That means we are taking the space from first block to the last block. Okay. That means a single 4 GB partition will be created. But if I want to create a partition of size 1 GB, I will simply write here plus. See, they are clearly mentioning if you want to specify some size, you can simply write plus size. So I want to specify for 1 and capital G. G is for GB. K is for kilobyte, M for MB, G for GB, like this. I'll press enter. So see, they said that we created a new partition of size 1 GB. And how to exit? Simply press W. That's it. Now, if we'll do again fdisk-l, so see, previously this table was missing here, right, at the downside, but now this table is coming. And they are clearly saying in this 4 GB partition, somebody created a single partition, okay, of the size 1 GB, right? Similarly, if somebody want to create one more partition, you will do fdisk, again give the disk name /x dev/xbdf, press N for new partition, P, by default it will take the value P, by default number will 2 this time. Starting sector, let it be same only. Now default. So if I not write anything now, so by automatically they will go up to last block, and up to last block if they will go, so total how much size will be remaining? 3 GB only, right? So even if I'll press enter here, so you'll see that automatically they created a partition of size 3 GB because only 3 GB was remaining now, right? Because we are starting from now this block. So once this is also created, simply press W to save and exit, clear it. Now if you'll do fdisk-l, you'll see two partition is there, of one of size 1 GB, one of size 3 GB. Any confusion up to here? Okay. Once the partition is created now, okay, so what is the next thing we have to do? We have to format the partition, right? And make sure you cannot format the hard disk. You have to format the partition only. Like if you are thinking that I am going to this hard disk and I will be able to do the format, there is no option of format. You can format the partition only. This D drive, this is a partition. So see, there is an option called format here, but you cannot format the disk 0. There is no option of format. That means you can format the partition only. So now there is a command for the format is the mkfs.ext4. Okay, mkfs.ext4. Now the question is, which one we have to write? Should we write this one or this one? We have to format the partition, right? So we'll be just copying the partition name and we are pasting it here, xbdf1, press enter, formatted. Similarly, I am formatting the second partition also. Its name was xbdf2. You can verify here /dev/xbdf2. So I formatted both the partition. Okay. Once you created the partition, once you formatted the partition, then the last step, what you have to do? You have to mount the ball. Okay. Now, how to mount the volume? Before that, let me show you a command called df-h. In this command, you will be able to see all the partition mounted. Currently, there is a partition of size 8 GB, 8 GB hard disk that is by default attached. It is mounted to the slash location. Similarly, let me just delete this file first, rmdir rm-rbl volume. Let me just delete this. Okay. df-h. Okay, so currently there is no mounted storage of partition 1 GB or 3 GB. This is not mounted here, right? Now let me create a two directory here. I'm creating a directory with the name called pendrive 1 GB for your understanding purpose, but you can give any name here, okay? And I'm creating one more directory with the name called pendrive 3 GB. I just want to make you understand, okay? So two directory I created 1 GB and 3 GB, okay? And we know that we have the two partition actually, right? /dev/xvdf1 and /dev/xvdf2. Now we have to simply say that I want to mount the first partition /dev/xvdf1. Okay, this partition. To which location I want to mount? I want to mount it to the pendrive 1 GB directory. Okay, so this is the 1 GB partition. I am attaching it to here. It is mounted. Similarly, I am mounting xvdf2. This is the second partition, okay, that I am mounting it to the partition pendrive 3 GB. That's it. Now since we mounted it, now mounted is the last step, mount the volume. Now if we'll do the df-h, you are seeing some extra storage came. One of size 1 GB. It is around 974 MB, but you know that is approximately equal to 1 GB only. And this is size of 3 GB, approximately 2.9 GB. Okay. And it got attached to which location? Pendrive 1 GB directory, and it got attached to the pendrive 3 GB directory. Is this clear?
Yeah. What if we want to reformat that one? Actually, you know, for example, if we want to add more partitions, can we do that once?
Currently, you don't have the space, right? If you don't have the space, so you cannot create another partition, right?
So
You use
the
the
dev app 2 is having 3 GB, right? So we want to, if we want to separate that one into two, like, you know, 1.5 or 1 GB, F2 will have 1 GB and we'll create, can we create one more F3 and can we allot 1 GB into that?
see. Actually, you cannot do like this. In that case, now you have to format the entire hard disk again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then you
Okay.
can go with it. Okay.
Mhm.
There is another thing you can do. Something is, take an example, total storage was 8 GB, right? And in this,
Mhm.
one of the volume is using 3 GB currently, right? And you
Yes.
want that remaining, we have the 5 GB space that is unallocated, right? So if you want to
Yeah.
increase, that can be the possibility. Okay, if you want to increase, then
Mhm.
you can use it. Okay, you can increase the partition. That is the another thing. But if you want that I will reduce it, then I will create a new partition. That cannot be possible. Okay, reducing
Mhm.
is not possible. Okay, because data will be there now, so how they can
Yeah.
reduce the sectors, everything inside that? Okay, so that's the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know, like see, currently this 4 GB is allocated, right? But if you know that, one thing you can do is you can come to this EBS volume. Okay, there is a option called this EBS volume, right? This EBS
Mhm.
volume. This EBS volume size we can increase actually. There is a action called modify volume, right?
Mhm.
See, so this one we can do. We can increase the size from 8 GB to 12 GB, but you cannot make 8 GB to 7 GB. That cannot be possible. See,
Because
you can
data is
always.
already there.
No, see, it is always, it will be go in a single direction only. Whatever the volume you have now, you can just increase it. You cannot decrease it. That's the normal
Mhm.
thing. Okay, because
Mhm.
data is already formatted, already the partition table is created. Okay, so that's why
Mhm.
they are saying the size of volume can only be increased, not decreased. So I can take the 9 GB. That will fine. Okay, then what will happen is 8 GB is already allocated and 1 GB will be extra volume. Okay, that we can format it and we can add it. Okay, so that will be the one thing that you can do. Okay, So now we have the two partition, everything. Now how we can store the data inside this EBS volume, like whatever the EBS volume we have this 4 GB, I want to store the data. So whatever the data you are going to store it in this 1 GB and 3 GB pen drive, right? That will be stored in that EBS volume only. So if I'm going inside this 1 GB pen drive, and here I'm creating some file1, file2, file3. So this three file I created. Now basically I created a directory. Okay, I created the directory with the, okay, I given some space or something. Okay, but file1, file3 is created. Okay, similarly, let's come out and I'm going inside the pen drive 3 GB one. And here I am creating some files. CD pen drive 3 GB. And I'm doing here creating file touch e.txt, b.txt, c.txt, right? Something I'm writing and I'm storing some data here, date in the a.txt file, cal in the a.txt file, something like this. I'm just storing the data. Okay, not cal in a.txt, cal, let's keep it in the p.txt file. Why it is not getting updated? I don't know why it is not getting updated. Cat a.txt, reading, cat a.txt, it's ready. Okay. So we store all the data, right? In the pen drive 3 GB one and pen drive 2 GB one, 1 GB one also. That means in both the partition we stored some data, right? Now, what you can do is let's come out. Okay. Currently, this pen drive is attached here. This pen drive is mounted here, right? To this particular location. Okay. Now you want to remove this pen drive. Now, currently, if you see in the volume action, there is an option called 4 GB, right? See, there is an option called, oh, let me refresh this. Yeah. Here you will see there is a, why there is an option called detach is still showing. This is not say actually, right? Don't know what's happening to this. Okay, they are showing the detach option. I don't know. They done some changes or something. But actually the detach option should not come here. Okay. Because our volume is mounted. So we have to only do the first detach, but I don't know how the detach is now showing. But actually the usual thing is now what you want to do is if you want to remove this pen drive from this laptop, either you can forcefully remove it. It is just like plugging out the pen drive from your laptop. Okay. Or you can simply first say, I don't want, I want to unmount. Okay. You mount which partition I want to unmount. I want to unmount the pen drive 1 GB one. Okay. So I just removed it. Now if I do df-h, see now 1 GB is not visible here. That partition I removed. Similarly, I umount pen drive 3 GB. That also I removed. Once you remove this, now you can close this EC2 instance. You can click on detach volume here. This volume will be detached now. Okay. Currently, this pen drive, you cannot attach it to some another pen drive because it is already attached, right, in use. But as soon as it will become available, then we'll be able to attach this pen drive to some another machine. So see, now it's available. Now you can attach this pen drive to some another machine also. Something like this. I'm attaching this volume, and this time I'm attaching it to some different machine. This machine, take an example. Okay, let me attach it to this machine. I'm attaching this volume. So if I'll see here, we attach this pen drive to this machine. Let me start this machine. Just give me 2 more minutes. Everything will be completed. So inside this machine storage. So see here I attach this 4 GB volume. Currently it is in the attaching state. Okay. Since the 4 GB volume is attached here and it is exactly the same storage, then whatever the file we stored in this 4 GB hard disk or pen drive, right, that will be visible inside this machine also. Previously we are seeing in this machine. So I'm connecting to this machine. And one, what they are failing. Okay. We connected to this machine, clear it out. I don't want to do anything here. Okay, so here if I do the fdisk-l now, you don't have to format the partition again. You don't have to create the partition again because that was the only one-time process. Okay, And this partition, everything is already created. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to simply mount this volume. That's it. That is the only thing you have to do, or mount the partition. Okay, so I am creating a directory here. Here you can create the directory with the same name only, or you can create the directory with the name called some different name also. I'm just giving it here test 1 GB, test 3 GB, something like this. And I'm saying that I want to mount the partition, the first partition /tape/xbdf1 to the test 1 GB. And similarly, I am mounting xbdf2 to test 3 GB. That also done. If we'll do df-h, so see exactly same storage got attached to this two location. Now the benefit is if somebody is going inside this directory, or actually it is selected in the root directory. So let me just go to the root directory here. And inside this, let's go inside the test 1 GB. And here you will see all the files, file1, file2, file3 is there. Okay. Similarly, let's come out and let's go inside cd test 3 GB. Here we'll be able to see a.txt, b.txt. It will read the content. Date command output will be there, b.txt. We'll be able to see calendar output also. That means we are able to share the data between different machines. Is it clear? So these steps, whatever you are doing, buying the pen drive, attaching the pen drive, create the partition, format the partition, this is the only one-time process. From the next time, you have to just attach the pen drive and you have to mount the volume. This is the only thing you have to do. Create, format, you don't have to do again and again. Okay. That's why I said first you have to detach the volume, then go to the different EC2 instance, then you attach the same volume to this EC2 instance, create a directory and mount that particular to that particular storage directory. That's it. And all these things are well and documented. A screenshot here. This is about the S3 that I already shown you in the starting. Now this is about the EBS volume, how to create the volume, how to go inside this, how to write the command called -L, how to give this type of the command, how to create the partition, right? All these things are a screenshot is here. Okay. You can just create it, but here whatever the example I shown you, here I shown is creating a single partition of size entire GB. Okay. But I shown you how to create the multiple partition also. So just follow this and try to complete this practical. Okay. Over this weekend. Fine. The two limitation of there of the EBS volume, the limitation we already discussed that also in the starting, that it can be present in the same availability zone, then only it can connect. Okay. And the second limitation is it should be connected to only one instance at a time. Okay. Now if there are 5 EC2 instances there and I want to share the exactly same file to all the 5 machines, so it will take time, right? Because every time I have to attach the pen drive, again I will go, I will copy the file, again I will detach that, again I will attach it to some different machine. That's why there is a concept called EFS volume that will help us to solve this two problem. Okay, whether your EC2 instance is running in 1A, 1B, 1C, doesn't matter. It will be able to connect to any of the machine. Second thing, it can connect to 100 of machine also parallelly. Okay. So just try to complete up to here and then we'll see in the next class. Okay. Thanks all of you.
Thank you.